All right, folks, if you could grab your seats, let's get the evening started. We've got a lot of people to celebrate tonight. Kyle, good to see you. Fast Eddie, pipe down, buddy. We're going to get this thing going. Well, good evening, everybody, and welcome to the 49th Annual E-Club Athletic Hall of Fame induction ceremony. My name's Tom Helmer, voice of the Eagles. Pause for applause. Pause, thank you. No, I'm just kidding. No, oh no, you shouldn't. Come on now. Trying to move this along. This year's class is truly exceptional. 5 remarkable individuals whose accomplishments, leadership, and spirit continue to inspire all of us who proudly wear the green and white. The E-Club Athletic Hall of Fame boasts a proud 49-year legacy and now features more than 300 former student athletes whose names and stories are forever part of Eastern Michigan's history. We're thrilled to have several of our past inductees here with us tonight. Would Hall of Fame members please stand up and be recognized so we can give you a round of applause. Wonderful. We'd also take this moment to recognize the recipients of the Ron Ostrike Distinguished Service Award. Your commitment to Eastern Michigan athletics embodies the very best of what it means to be part of the E-Club family. So could you please stand and be recognized. Our Ron Ostrike Distinguished Service Award recipients. Thank you for being here tonight and for your continued support, EMU Athletics, and the proud legacy of our letter winners. Before we begin tonight's inductions, we'd like to acknowledge a few special guests whose leadership and partnership are instrumental in the success of EMU Athletics. Please welcome me in joining Vice President and Director of Intercollegiate Athletics, Scott Weatherby. And Vice President for the Division of Communications, Walter Kraft. And now to help officially begin tonight's program, please welcome to the stage a proud Hall of Famer himself and the dedicated leader of the E-Club, President Andrew Wellock.
Thank you, Tom. Good evening, everyone. The Eastern Michigan University E-Club is proud to welcome you to the 2025 E-Club Athletic Hall of Fame induction ceremony, a night dedicated to celebrating the very best of EMU athletics and honoring those whose passion, talent, and commitment have shaped our proud tradition of excellence. The E-Club Alumni Chapter, chartered by the EMU Alumni Association, is made up of former student athletes from every sport and every era. Together, we work to preserve the legacy, pride, and loyalty that unite all who have worn the green and white. We're proud to support our current student athletes by recognizing their academic achievements through events like the IPSI Awards and by presenting varsity jackets to our newest letter winners. But our greatest honor, and the reason we're here tonight, is to celebrate the remarkable accomplishments of those who have defined what it means to be an Eastern Michigan student athlete through the induction into the E-Club Athletic Hall of Fame. The E-Club would not be what it is without a dedicated group of volunteers who give their time, talent, and energy to keep this tradition strong. At this time, I'd like to recognize our E-Club Board of Directors. Please stand and be recognized for your outstanding service. We also extend our sincere gratitude to the EMU Alumni Association Board of Directors, whose partnership and support makes this celebration possible. Thank you for continuing to champion our mission. And finally, a heartfelt thank you to EMU Athletics for your unwavering collaboration, for helping us honor our past while building for the future, and for your tremendous effort in planning and executing tonight's special event. With a special thanks to Jessica, as I know how hard she works for this event. So thank you. On behalf of the E-Club and all former letter winners, I want to congratulate the Hall of Fame class of 2025. Tonight, you join a legendary family of EMU greats. Your dedication, achievements, and example have paved the way for generations to come. We are proud to celebrate you and the legacy you've built for Eastern Michigan University. Thank you and God bless.
All right, our next speaker is Vice President and Director of Intercollegiate Athletics, Scott Weatherby. Scott's been with Eastern Michigan since 2017, has continued to transform the EMU athletic department every single day, and I'm sure guys like Matt have seen the new baseball field. Looks fantastic. Nice job. With that, let's please welcome our Athletic Director, Scott Weatherby.
Thanks, Tom. Do you notice when he was talking, then he goes into his script mode, his voice, I can't do that. I don't have that. I don't have that on-air talent that he has here. It's awesome to be in the presence of greatness. What a great, I call them Blocky Fridays. And this is a special one. I love celebrating these 5 individuals. Welcome to the George Gervin Game Above Center. This is looks good, huh? Looks really good. You know, we're in an atrium, and then we're putting this together, and I just really enjoy. I'm glad we've been able to add the video screen, and then we have all of the Hall of Famers up here through all the years. The touch screen, you get all of the current Hall of Famers. So just really excited that you guys are here to celebrate with us. One of the main things that we've spent a lot of time and energy on over the last few years is updating our facilities and making them some of the best in the Mid-American Conference. And I want to provide a great student-athlete experience for all of our student-athletes. And with that, you know, we've done a lot of different projects over this past year, and so I usually like to highlight just a couple of those. We just finished phase 1 of our track and field, which is actually located now behind what was Westview Apartments out by our softball field. So we just a couple weeks ago, we did our ribbon cutting for that at homecoming, and we're excited about, you know, continuing phase 2. But now our track and field program, that is our biggest legacy in history here, is now has their own facility, and really excited for that. So we just had that ribbon cutting, and then Tom had mentioned, if you haven't had a chance to go by Ostrike Stadium, it's going to look a lot different to you. We put in new field turf. The whole thing is turfed, even the outfield now. You'll see a unique, we went with the infield to be gray, very similar to what you see out at football, and we're just kind of leaning into that. It's a great recruiting tool for us. We're the first ones to have that in Division I. We've updated the walls, all the padding in the outfield. We've done batting cages, expanded those. We expanded the dugout, and then you'll see a new paint, a stain on the brick as well. So just really excited about that piece. And then behind the scenes that a lot of our public and fans and donors and stuff don't get a chance to see is the soccer locker room was just updated. We're finishing up the women's locker room as well. We're installing new lockers in our volleyball locker room as well. So, you know, over the past 5 years, we've touched every one of our sports and tried to enhance that student-athlete experience. And that's because of the support of the E-Club and the E-Club board, the Champions Advisory Board. Game Above has obviously been a big help to that, all of our alumni and supporters. And so I'd ask if, you know, I know Khalid's here, Matt's here, some of our advisory board and E-Club board, Game Above, would you guys stand and just, again, let's recognize them for all of their help with all of these facilities and helping our student athletes have a great experience. Please, Matt, appreciate it. Awesome. All right, so the past couple of years, we've added and updated the Hall of Fame here. I think it looks great, really excited about that. We also, over here to your right, my left, we have updated the O-Strike Award location, and we did that last year, and excited to be able to recognize those individuals there. And then I like to do this the last few years. I like to recognize a couple that really stepped up to help us with this Hall of Fame and to make these updates. So I'd like to once again ask Howard and Luann Booth to please stand, and let's give them a big thank you. So the reason we're sitting in here, and we used to have a hallway over here that nobody could ever go down and see who was in our Hall of Fame, and we decided to make it front and center. And I just really appreciate them really taking that on and being the lead gift for this project. So really appreciate them. I'd also like to thank Andrew Wellick for the E-Club Alumni Chapter, their time, support, and energy on this atrium and everything they do for EMU. And just, if you have a minute, it's kind of hidden, but where you checked in, there is a wall there that recognizes all those that gave to the Hall of Fame project. And so I always want to encourage you to see that. It's an honor to be here in front of so many of our former greats, and it's an honor to lead this athletic department. We work extremely hard to provide a great culture, provide a great student-athlete experience. We've continued to thrive in the classroom. The president will talk a little bit about the community service as well. This past year, we won our 159th Mid-American Conference Championship, which is still the most in the Mid-American Conference. And, yep, absolutely. What was neat is that our women's lacrosse team won the regular season Mid-American Conference Championship this year in only their third year of existence. And so it was exciting to see them. We will continue to give relentless effort and strive to make each one of you proud, try to carry on the legacy you've set. We are building champions in the classroom, in the community, and in competition. As we like to say, we're building champions for life. We're working hard to put champions like the individuals here that we're honoring and being inducted. And our inductees here today are already champions, and we are going to celebrate each one of them. Before we do, I do want to say a couple thank yous as well to Jessica Naziba, Omar Ahmed, and Sam Spicer. Are they here? Let's say Jess, where's Omar? Sam, that's my crew. Say thank you to them. Appreciate it. Yeah, they make it special for the Hall of Famers. They make my job easy. Also want to recognize Kathy Steiner and her group with the event planning, the rest of the team that prepared our meal for us, so let's let them hear it as well. And then you always have to have facilities people help set up, and then also all the audio, video stuff. So Greg Steiner and his team, and Cliff Sims and his team. So just really appreciate all of their hard work to pull this off. All right, I'll finish up here. I'm thrilled to welcome the Hall of Fame class of 2025. It's great to be here to celebrate each of your accomplishments. You are truly the best of the best. I love to celebrate events like this that allows us to look back on the history and tradition of Eastern Michigan athletics. It is individuals like you that inspire us to build champions every day. As members of the E-Club Hall of Fame, you are among the most decorated and accomplished student athletes to ever wear the green and white. You represent the class, the pride, and the success that we ultimately aspire to achieve every day. In this class, we have captains, record holders, an All-American, both team and individual MAC champions, and for the first time for me, we also have a trainer. Now, they can add to the list of accomplishments as EMU Hall of Fame members. From the entire athletic department, we say thank you and congratulations to Patrice, John, Nikki, Ben, and Bill. This night is about you and for you, and I hope you and your guests have a great time tonight and enjoy the football game tomorrow. On a personal note, I wanted to congratulate Bill on your induction. I was fortunate enough to work alongside you for your last couple of years of your retirement, before you retired. And I got to see the lasting impact that you were making on our student athletes. And I told Bill this, every time I go out and meet with alumni and former players, they're always asking about Bill. And I'm like, I can't believe how many times I'm asked about. And so I wanted to mention that goes a long ways, and that he impacted so many people. And I got to see that firsthand for a short time and really appreciate him. So I just wanted to say thank you for your hard work and all the care you gave to Eastern and our student athletes, and congratulations. Our athletics department is extremely lucky to have a president that is as engaged as Dr. Smith. Jim and his wife Connie attend as many sporting events as they can. I'd like to publicly thank President Smith and Connie for their support. It means a lot to me, our student athletes. Unfortunately, they couldn't be here tonight for the induction, but they both will be here tomorrow for the football game and get to meet all of our inductees. So Dr. Smith did record a message for everyone, so we'll roll the video.
Hello, and welcome to the 49th Eastern Michigan University Hall of Fame celebration. I apologize that I'm not able to be with you this evening, but as technology is allowed, I'm pleased to be with you via this recording. It's a privilege to congratulate the new Hall of Fame inductees, as well as honor the legacy of all the previous inductees. I want to give a special recognition to Scott Weatherby, our athletics director. Scott has been with us for 8 years now. He's done an excellent job reaching out to our students, faculty, staff, and alumni to encourage even greater collaboration. I also want to give a special recognition to our student athletes, some of whom will surely be seated in this room years from now, being honored for their achievements. They juggle academics, training, homework, volunteering, and they're outstanding role models and ambassadors. The academic success of our student athletes is paramount in all we do. I'm proud to share the cumulative GPA of our 479 student athletes in the most recent report was 3.472. Think about that for a minute. 479 students earning a GPA of 3.472. That is an all-time highest cumulative GPA since we started recording data. The success of our student athletes goes beyond the classroom. As an illustration of our commitment to Eastern and the surrounding community, our student athletes collectively provided over 10,000 hours of community service in the 24-25 academic year. That is also an all-time university record. Through community engagement, food and clothing drives, and special days on campus, like Victory Day and National Girls and Women's Sports Day, all 19 varsity teams participated in community service, spreading joy and meeting with numerous children and adults from all walks of life. I would like to acknowledge the wonderful members of the E-Club and the Alumni Association Board of Directors. These individuals devote their time and energy to instill pride in EMU. And of course, I want to say congratulations to tonight's Hall of Fame honorees. You are a terrific representation of EMU, and we're thrilled to have you back on campus to honor your achievements. I hope all of you have an opportunity to look around campus while you're here this weekend. There are great things happening and great things on the way. If you park and walk by the Student Center, you will see our Welcome Home 2025 initiative, modern new apartments overlooking the lake, as well as a new Westview apartment located behind this building. I could go on for another 30 minutes, but these are just a few examples of why we have so much to be proud of at Eastern. Tonight's celebration will be a fitting tribute to our honorees, and I hope everyone has a wonderful evening. Thank you again for being here and for your continued support of our great university. I look forward to seeing you tomorrow at the game. Congratulations to the Hall of Fame class of 2025, and go green.
Thank you, Scott. Thank you, President Smith. He wasn't joking. He could have gone 30 more minutes, so that's why we put him on tape there. Really quickly, I'll go off script. Sahar Nusebe, the women's basketball coach, is here, but she brought the team today. Our women's basketball team is in attendance tonight. Ladies, if you could stand up really quick. Yeah. Thank you for coming tonight. They're going to have a phenomenal season. It's time now to showcase the Hall of Fame class of 2025 and celebrate their achievements. First, we celebrate the outstanding achievements of Patrice Beasley. Oh, it gets better. A true legend in Eastern Michigan track and field history, her speed, determination, and championship spirit left an unforgettable mark on the program and everyone who had the privilege to watch her compete. Let's take a look at her incredible journey. She was a force on the track, a champion who left competitors in the dust and her mark in the record books. From 2003 to 2006, Patrice Beasley electrified the track for Eastern Michigan University. A four-year letter winner in both indoor and outdoor track and field, her career was defined by speed, consistency, and championship performances. She captured an astounding 13 Mid-American Conference individual titles and added 5 more as part of dominant relay squads. Indoors, she won the 60-meter and 200-meter dash twice, including a clean sweep at the 2004 championships in the 60, 200, and the 4x400 relay. Outdoors, she was even more dominant, winning the 200-meter dash 3 years in a row and anchoring 3 4x100 relay titles. In 2006, she did the unthinkable, winning the 100, 200, 4x100, and 4x400 all in one meet. Her elite performances earned her first team All-MAC honors, academic All-MAC recognition, and the title of the most valuable performer at the 2006 MAC Outdoor Championships. She even made waves on the national stage, qualifying for NCAA regionals in 4 events and nationals in 2, and helping lead EMU to a title at the prestigious Drake Relays in 2005. To this day, Patrice Beasley still ranks in the top 10 all-time EMU records in 8 different events. She was named MAC Athlete of the Week multiple times, but her performances week in and week out spoke for itself. A champion, a record holder, and now a Hall of Famer. Join us in celebrating Patrice Beasley as she is being inducted into the Eastern Michigan University E-Club Athletic Hall of Fame. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Patrice Beasley.
What up, though? And also, good evening. Does this come off? Yeah. Thank you for everybody for being here. To whoever put that on and created that, thank you. I didn't know how that was gonna go, how I would look. I didn't know what pictures y'all had, other than a few that I gave, but it was amazing. Want to say thank you to everybody who was here representing me, my family, mom, grandma, aunties, brother, sister-in-law, my coaches from high school, and of course, my sisters on the track. Also, I want to give a shout out to everybody who are former Hall of Famers here that I may not know, but the 2 that I do know, I want to give a shout out Jordan. He was on the track team, and I got a chance to be there 3 of his years and watch him. And then, of course, my sister Leela Veek. So I'm happy and thankful to be esteemed in that class. So they said we had 2 to 4 minutes. I'm sorry. I'm gonna take the whole 4 minutes. So just bear with me, everybody. But just want to say that in life, sometimes we end up on a path that we didn't know we would be on. And that's kind of how my story goes. So if you know me, you know ball is life. So I was expecting to go on and play basketball in college. But for certain reasons, that didn't happen. So the trajectory changed, and I ended up here at Eastern Michigan University. But I wouldn't trade it in for the world. So it started back in high school, where I did play basketball and ran track. And the coach at the time, you know, he was the coach at the time. But for certain reasons, he didn't last. So about junior year, he stopped working there. And that's when my life changed, because prior to that, they didn't really care for whatever reason about promoting us and getting us scholarships and anything like that. They were just like, okay, you here, high school, 4 years, you out. But I got to my 3rd year and I'm like, no, I'm trying to hoop somewhere. Like, I'm trying to play in college. So that's when I was blessed with my track coach, Coach Cook, who was here. And also, yeah, give it up, give it up. There you go. And also, my basketball coach, who was here, Coach Cal. No, yeah, you can stand up, Coach. Yeah, those two are amazing. So once they got in, towards the end of my junior year and senior year, it was kind of hard to find scholarships, but they laid the groundwork and they made sure that my talents were recognized. So I did get offers, basketball and track, but initially I did take the track scholarship and it landed me here. So then from there, I came here and I meet Coach Lou. We know Coach Lewis. He's not here with us. He passed on some years ago, but also I ran under Coach Lewis here, but also he took me under his wing and he brought me in and I coached at Hampton University, the men's track team actually. So we did some things there too. And also Leela as well, he brought her in as a coach as well. So he's not here with us today, but I do just want to dedicate this to him because I wouldn't be here, standing here, if it wasn't for him. And speaking of him, so I do have a quick story that I'm gonna give to y'all, and it's part of why I'm here actually. So my freshman year and Coach Lou's first year, because Coach Bingle was the coach prior to, and he left to go on to Minnesota. And so Coach Lewis was coming in my freshman year, but the sisters that I had, they were already in their junior year, sophomore year. So they were familiar with another coach. So Coach Lewis is coming in, nobody knows him, and we don't know what's going on. So it was rocky in the beginning, because Coach Lewis is no nonsense, which I don't mind, I like, but you just got to know him. And so we did. We got to know him. We loved him. And he always said, like, look at the group right here. These are your sisters. They will be with you for the rest of your life. And that's definitely true, because half of my team is here. Flew in from different states, supporting me, and I love y'all for that. So we are in our first year indoor MAC championship. So I'm neck and neck with a girl beside me in the 60-meter dash. And great competition, me and her going at it. So we finished across the finish line, and we are neck and neck, and it is so close, it's a photo finish. They don't know who won. And usually on that level, at the championship level, they know who won. The first thing you do when you cross the line, you look up at the thing, you see where you placed, what your time was. They had nothing for us because it was so close, they did not know. So Coach Lewis is like, Bees, did you get her? Did you win? So I'm like, I don't know. So I'm excited, I'm a freshman, and I'm like, I'm coming in here wrecking things. So it was so close though, like we didn't know. So the meet continued on, I finished the rest of my events, and we didn't even find out until it was time to give out medals. So I'm still thinking I either got first or second. So 60-meter dash, 8th place, little sister of the poor. I don't know, somebody. So then 7th place, 6th place, 5th place, Patrice Beasley. What? No, I know it was either first or second. So how did y'all get 5th place? To this day, y'all, I don't know. They couldn't even show me the footage. They said something malfunctioned. I don't know. So I didn't want to go up there. I'm like, no, I know I didn't get 5th place. I'm livid. So my teammate like, no, go up there. So I went up there, accepted it with grace. So we're back, coming back home in the van. My track sister is Coach Lou. He's driving. So we talking about it, because that's the topic of the night. So I'm like, Coach Lou, how did they do that? They know I didn't get 5th. They just giving out. So I'm going off. And Coach Lou, in true Coach Lou fashion, he's just nonchalant. Bees. And he's just like, it is what it is. And I'm like, what? Like, no, it ain't is. Like, who do I need to talk to? Like, you don't even care. So he's like, I care, but nobody else cares. So I'm like, okay, this is what it's about. I was like, well, I don't know. Just whatever I got to do, I'm going to do. He's like, well, you know what you got to do? He's like, next time, don't make it close. So I'm like, what? Like, how are you telling me this? Like, you my coach. But he knew exactly what to say to get us going. And he knew me, and he knew the type of competitor I was. So to say something like that, I'm like, you know what? No, you're right. Don't make it close. If I wouldn't even made it close, it wouldn't have even been a photo finish. So from there on out, work hard, every race. I don't care if somebody I know, I'm running against Olympians, former Olympians. I don't care. I'm trying not to make it close. So I didn't make it close 13 times and got 13 championships. So how did I get here? And the answer is simply by being a winner. And not just crossing the finish line first, but by being a winner with being humble, having humility, being a leader, also knowing when to take leadership from my teammates, because I was also on relays, and that's the way to go, is winning. And in one of my favorite movies, Remember the Titans, Denzel got a line. He says, I'm a winner. I'm going to win. And I felt that. And so today, I stand before you as a winner and a Hall of Famer, and I'm thankful. Thank y'all. There we go.
Thank you. That was a wonderful speech. Thank you. Patrice, before you start hugging everybody, I want you to look at the monitor one more time because we have a special message for you.
Patrice Beasley. Look who's going into the Hall of Fame. Congratulations. Going into the Eastern Michigan Hall of Fame. Patrice, you did this. All the best from Jackie Joyner-Kersee.
Jackie Joyner-Kersee with a special message for Patrice Beasley. Congratulations, Patrice. All right, our second inductee is John Bowler, a true force in Eastern Michigan basketball history, known for his power in the paint, leadership on and off the court, and unwavering pride in the green and white. John's impact continues to resonate throughout the program. Please turn your attention to the screen as we honor John Bowler.
He was a warrior in the paint, a relentless rebounder, a clutch scorer,
and one of the most dominant big men to ever wear the green and white. From 2002 to 2006, John Bowler anchored Eastern Michigan men's basketball with grit, skill, and unmatched consistency. A four-year letter winner, Bowler became the heart and soul of the program. In his senior season, Bowler led the entire Mid-American Conference in both scoring and rebounding, one of only two players in the league to average a double-double that year. His 20.1 points and 10.8 rebounds per game also ranked among the best in the nation. A force on both ends of the court, Bowler is one of just three players in EMU history to record over 1,400 points and 800 rebounds in a career. He finished with 1,427 points, 801 rebounds, and an incredible 32 double-doubles. In 2005-2006, he sank 443 free throws, third most in a single season in EMU history. Game after game, he led with power, patience, and poise. A first-team All-MAC selection and honorable mention the year before, Bowler left it all on the floor, becoming the first Eagle since 1988 to average at least 20 points and 10 rebounds in a season. After EMU, Bowler took his talents to Europe, playing 6 successful seasons in Germany's top professional league, continuing to excel at the next level. From the Convocation Center to the international stage, John Bowler's legacy is etched in EMU athletics history. Join us in honoring John Bowler as he is being inducted into the Eastern Michigan University E-Club Athletic Hall of Fame. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome John Bowler.
All right, first off, I realized how I should have done my hair a lot better back then. I didn't realize I was gelless and shaved. I need to do a better job at that back in the day. First off, I want to congratulate everybody else. We could not have let it off with somebody better than Patrice. The energy in the building was electric. I need those shoes in size 15, right? Congratulations, Patrice, Nikki, Ben, and Bill. Obviously, I feel honored to be a part of this class, not just the individual achievements that I have earned myself, but to be a part of a class that is so distinguished and just legendary for this school and this institution. I want to give some thank yous. Thank you to Jessica for everything you did. I know we probably as a Hall of Fame class are extremely high maintenance at times, so appreciate everything you did getting this all set up. This is absolutely fantastic. I want to thank the E-Club for this honor. This is just something that is it's beyond my wildest dreams. I talked about it in our group text with the guys that went here. They always used to make fun of me saying I'd never get in as a joke, right? I think it was just guys being hard on each other. But, you know, I feel honored that I even got the opportunity to be on the doorstep, right? To be along some of the greats that are here from a basketball tradition, guys like George Gervin, Earl Boykins, right? Kennedy McIntosh, Grant Long, right? Carl Thomas, Charles Thomas, right? Guys who are absolute legends, not only in the state of Michigan, at Eastern Michigan, but throughout the country and at multiple different levels. So I feel absolutely honored to be a part of this and to be selected. I want to thank my teammates, right? I've had some really, really special ones in the past. They've become lifelong friends. They become brothers, right? In this transfer era, right, where college athletics continues to shift, right, we feel like we were a little bit of a dying breed, right? We all kind of stayed together. We've all been together for so long. I know I've spoken with my coaches who coached me when we were here, right? I speak with my teammates constantly and continue to check in with them. It's an honor to have people like Ryan Perlman, who shows up tonight, Craig Cashin shows up, Zane Gay, Danny McElhaney, right? Guys who have been here for me, right, throughout my entire life, not just on the basketball court, but carrying over to life circumstances. I'm actually wearing the suit that I wore in Zane's wedding, so I appreciate the color choice, Zane. That was big for us. Worked out in the long run for a double meaning there. I want to thank my coaches for entrusting me, right? Jim Boone's the one who recruited me here, right? He's an unbelievable coach, legendary human. He was the one who entrusted me, him and Dave Pilipovich, Glenn Gutierrez, right? They got here and they saw something in me. There was a kid from Chicago that averaged 16 and 12 out of a Catholic league that played at a school that had football, and I didn't love football. And they were like, why isn't he playing football, right? He probably should be on the O-line or catching some passes, right? For me, right, I wanted to play basketball. Those guys recruited me here, trusted me, right? They wanted to set the foundation, right? When I became a junior, right, we had a coaching change, right? Charles Ramsey came in, right? Carl Thomas came in, Dusty May came in, who's down the street now, right? Those guys entrusted me as a guy who they didn't recruit here, as somebody who it's like, hey, you're gonna be our guy, right? You're gonna be our guy. We're gonna help build around it, right? We had opportunities to transfer. We had opportunities to leave, right? And I remember a conversation I had with my brother Matt, who talked about he pitched for Lewis University in Romeoville in Chicago, but he essentially told me that his most fun that he ever had was his last year. And it didn't translate to winning, but it's because of the people that he was with, right? So I was fortunate enough to decide to stay, right? And we all stayed together, right? And we fought through a really tough year, right? But I'll tell you this, there's nobody closer than the people that I fought with every day in that locker room, and I want to thank them. This award is an individual achievement, but I'll tell you this, there's a lot of times where I got a post feed and I was able to go get a bucket because of the guys that were around me. I'm sure Danny wishes that I kicked it out a little bit more so he could shoot it, but for the most part, the ball comes in, right, and I was able to make some plays with the teammates around me that trusted me and my coaches that were there, right? I want to thank my mother and father-in-law, right? Those of you who don't know my wife, Elizabeth, probably best known as Biz by everybody here, played volleyball here as well. Right? We met actually at Best Hall. We took a photo earlier today in front of it. I think it's the only photo we have by Best, but not much has changed over there, so it's fantastic. I want to thank my mother and father-in-law. We met as freshmen at Best, right? And we had a pretty typical college relationship that bloomed into something so much more, and it came from the families that we were around. Dave and Wendy brought me in, loved on me, welcomed me into their family. Dave played football at Morehead State, and his guidance was always there. He was the de facto dad of the volleyball team constantly. Wendy was the de facto mom. They were from Toledo, so they were always at every event. Probably the biggest fans you've never knew were fans, because they went to every sport. I know Dave and Wendy would come to football to watch our football team play. They'd come and watch our basketball team. They'd be at every volleyball event, right? And they were just a constant, steadward force in my life. We lost Dave this past year, and it was a really emotional time for all of us. But the presence that he was able to give to all of us is something that I cherish, right? And I think about it every day, that I was able to have a person like that in my life that was not somebody that had maybe been my father, right, but accepted me in to marry his daughter, right? And it was a special time for me, right? I want to thank my brothers, right? Randy, Steve, and Matt, right? Randy and Steve are here today. Matt had a prior engagement he had to be at. There's a great Mark Heller article, right, in the Detroit Free Press, where he interviewed me as a freshman, and we discussed where I got my grit. He said I was gritty and tough, you know, and I think that was just a way of saying I was a little bit slower at times and a little bit overweight. But he said I was gritty and tough, and he said, where'd you get it? And I said, well, I grew up playing alley basketball with my brothers, right? So my brother Randy, my brother Steve, and my brother Matt believed that there was never a foul call unless there was blood. And then if there was blood and I ran inside to my mom, they would tell me I was snitching and that I needed to come back out and play because it wasn't a foul, right? So there was a level of toughness that was ingrained when you're with 4 boys in a household and you're the youngest, and 2 of them go into the Marines and one of them becomes a cop. You probably get beat up quite a bit, right? So I want to thank them for just instilling in me the belief and being there for me. They never missed a high school game, right? I remember we played in the Virgin Islands, right, at the Paradise Jam, and actually we played against Stan's team when he was at Arkansas. And Randy actually came down and was with us there. Both Randy, Steve, or all 3 of them, Randy, Steve, and Matt, visited me while we were in Germany. They've always been supportful, right? They've always been there for me, helping me continue to grow, not only as a basketball player, but as a person, in a dream that probably didn't make sense to them, but it made sense to me, right? Finally, two last people I gotta thank. I guess I shouldn't say finally, three, right? My mom and my dad, right? They've been there for me at all times. One short story, I remember calling my dad when I was a freshman, and Ryan Perlman, who's here tonight, who was an unbelievable 5-man, 4-man, he would like to call himself, he was a power forward, he didn't like to be called center, right? But Ryan was just beating me up all week in practice. I couldn't guard him, right? There's a note why they didn't say anything about defensive or blocks. I didn't guard anybody really, but I definitely could not guard Ryan, right? And he was beating me up all week. So I called my dad and I'm frustrated, and I'm in the parking lot outside of Best, and I'm just like, Dad, I don't think I'm gonna be good enough. I really don't think I'm gonna be good enough. I'm a freshman, I'm a drill killer, everybody thinks I'm terrible, right? And then I hear my dad over the phone, who worked 30 plus years for the water department in the city of Chicago, and he said, okay, John, you can either figure it out, or you can come home and you can come dig water mains with me, or you can run into burning buildings, because those are the only two things I got for you. And I said, I think I'm gonna figure this out, because burning buildings don't sound fun, right? But I love the determination, the grit that they instilled in me. My mom was always there for me, so supportive, still texts me now as I coach my teams, right? And says congrats or good luck or hey, you should have done this, that, or the other. My dad's constantly there for me, asking me how's things going. Hey, maybe you should tweak this. Dad, you've never coached a day of basketball in your life, but I appreciate your advice, right? So from that standpoint, they've just instilled a grit and determination in me that's just next level, right? I want to thank my kids, right? I want you guys to use this, right? Grace, Charlotte, JD, right? You guys are going through it now, right? Grace, I coach Grace's AAU team now. We started a girls AAU team for Grace and Charlotte. Hopefully eventually we'll start a men's side for JD, right? But we started an AAU team. I go from coaching my college team to then turning around and coaching girls basketball, 7th graders. It's treated me a lot of patience, right? It's handed me a lot of patience. But I want you to use this. Understand that no matter what you do and put your mind to, right? Don't let anybody tell you can't do it, right? I was a guy that everybody told me, hey man, you could play football. You should play this, you should play that. Everybody told me what they thought I should do, right? And there's a lot of people around me that turned around and said, no, do what you want to do. Right? Take this. Don't be me. Don't ever try to live up to me. Be better than me. Be more than me, right? Achieve more than me, right? Live out your wildest dreams and chase them. Whatever you want to do, be the best at it. I want to thank you guys for all the belief that you have in me and the support, because it means a lot. Last, I want to thank my wife, Biz, right? I'll try to finish it up here quick. I know I'm over my 4 minutes, Jessica. Biz, who obviously played here, it's never been perfect, but it's been perfect for us. Right? And that's the most important thing. I love you with all my heart. I've been with you my entire life. This has been one of the best decisions we've ever had coming here, right? And it worked out in the long run. Also, I want to let you know, we met on an unofficial visit, and I think that's why she chose to come here. She saw me. I mean, when I was on my official visit, I'm going to be honest with you, I think actually she was just like, who is that repulsive guy, right? No, but I love you to death. I appreciate all your support. I've moved you to Germany. I moved you to Mississippi. We moved all the way, Scott knows what Mississippi's like, right? There's special parts of it, right? So we moved to Mississippi, right? We moved to Iowa. You've been everywhere. I love your support, and I appreciate everything that you've given to me. Last thing before I go, right? Just a little bit of story, right? As we go through things, right? I'm getting old, right? Everybody in here is getting old. We've talked about it. Time doesn't stop, right? But you go through phases in life, and everybody thinks about the good old days. Okay, Eastern was one of the good old days for me, right? Oh, high school was a good old day for somebody else, right? Good old days are the good old days, right? But when you go through these phases, I had one where I went in high school, right? We had the grade school, we had Eastern Michigan, I had a phase in Germany, right, where we were out there, right? We've had the phases. The biggest thing, and the most important thing of all of it, is not what the phase is like, but if you really think about it, it's the people you're around on a daily basis, right? The people make the phase. The people make the days the good old days, right? So when you get to share that with people who are great people like the ones that were here, right, during my time, right, that's when a phase stays with you. It doesn't become a phase anymore. It just becomes a lifelong relationship. It becomes a lifelong process, right? And I'm lucky to have this. I'm lucky to have chosen it. And I appreciate the honor that I get to have and being a part of this, just absolute unbelievable achievement. and I want to thank you all for tonight. I appreciate it.
Thank you, John. It's worth noting that Jay Smith is here today. He's an assistant coach with Eastern Michigan, but he was a head coach at Central. And when we talk about all the free throws, before Hack-a-Shack, there was beat-up Bowler. You sent him to the line maybe 22 times in a game? You contributed big time to that total. Thank you, Jay. All right, next up, we're going to celebrate Nikki Knapp. She is an extraordinary student athlete whose talent, toughness, and competitive spirit helped elevate Eastern Michigan women's basketball to new heights. Her legacy as a leader and record setter continues to inspire all who wear the green and white. Let's roll the highlights on Nikki Knapp.
She was a cornerstone of one of the most successful eras in Eastern Michigan women's basketball history. Tough, dependable, and dominant on both ends of the court. From 2002 to 2006, Nikki Knapp started nearly every game she played, 104 starts in 120 games, and built a legacy of consistency, leadership, and winning. Knapp helped lead the Eagles to an 80-30 overall record, 2 WNIT appearances, and the first ever NCAA tournament berth in program history. A true game changer. A 3-time All-MAC honoree, including 2 second-team selections and a member of the 2003-04 MAC championship squad. She also earned all tournament honors during that historic run. Over her career, she averaged 12.6 points and 6.7 rebounds per game, shooting over 50% from the field. Her ability to finish inside and control the glass made her a matchup nightmare. Knapp scored over 1,500 career points and set the EMU all-time record with 802 rebounds. She added 16 double-doubles and more than 3,200 minutes on the floor, never taking a night off. Twice named MAC Player of the Week, Nikki brought her best in the biggest moments and always delivered when her team needed her most. A champion, a record holder, and a program legend. Join us in recognizing Nikki Knapp as she is being inducted into the Eastern Michigan University E-Club Athletic Hall of Fame.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Nikki Knapp.
All right. Well, those are 2 tough acts to follow, so I will stick to my script that I have here. Wow. Okay, what an incredible honor it is to stand here tonight, surrounded by so many people that I admire and that have supported me throughout my career and life, to accept this Hall of Fame induction. I want to say thank you to Eastern Michigan University, the E-Club Hall of Fame Committee, and the athletic department for this unbelievable recognition. I am deeply humbled and filled with gratitude. When I first set foot on campus as a young player, full of dreams and maybe a little bit of nerves, I never imagined that one day I'd be standing here. What I did know back then was that I had a love for the game and I was ready to represent the university with everything I had. To my teammates, this honor is just as much yours as it is mine. We pushed each other every day, picked each other up, and chased greatness together. You all made the grind worth it. Every win, every loss, every 6 a.m. practice, every 30 and 30, preseason mile test, every road trip, and all the movie lines quoted along the way, the laughter and tears are all memories that still mean everything to me. To my coaches along the way, one of whom is here tonight, my high school coach, Coach Bublo, thank you. Thank you for believing in me even when I didn't always believe in myself. I was just a kid from Blue Springs, Missouri, who had a dream of playing Division I basketball. You challenged me to grow not just as an athlete, but as a leader, a student, and a person, even though I may have tested you guys on the student part quite often. You taught me success isn't just measured by points or rebounds, but by character and resilience. To my family, thank you for your support. To my parents for all the rides to practice, the late night pep talks, and unconditional love, the sacrifices that you guys made for me to play the game that I love, the trips and the traveling, and my sisters who were just along for the ride, helping along the way, thank you. You all were in the stands cheering when I scored, and cheering even louder when I struggled, and even louder yet at the refs when I got called for a foul that I definitely did not commit. To the young athletes coming up, know this: every rep, every lap, every time you choose to keep going, when it's hard, it matters and it adds up. Trust the process and never ever forget where you come from. Thank you for this incredible honor. Eastern Michigan will always be a part of me. I'm proud to be part of EMU's legacy, and even more proud to know the best is still yet to come for this amazing program. Go Green. Thank you.
Congratulations, Nikki. Next up, we celebrate the remarkable career of Ben Reese, whose dedication, endurance, and quiet determination made him a cornerstone of Eastern Michigan's storied track and field and cross-country programs. A true leader and competitor, Ben's legacy continues to inspire generations of Eagles. Please turn your attention to the screen as we honor Ben Reese.
From the winding trails of cross-country to the thundering pace of the indoor track, Ben Reese was in a league of his own. An elite competitor with endurance, speed, and championship heart. A four-year letter winner in both track and field and cross-country, from 1996 to 2000, Reese quickly made his mark, winning the MAC Individual Cross-Country Championship in 1997 and finishing runner-up the following year. Twice named All-MAC and All-Region, he also claimed the title at the 1998 Michigan Invitational, cementing his place as one of the top distance runners in the Midwest. But it was on the track where Reese's legend truly soared. A six-time NCAA All-American, he racked up an astonishing 18 MAC titles in both indoor and outdoor competition. In 2000, he became just the second runner in EMU history to break the 4-minute mile, clocking in at 3 minutes, 59.83 seconds, and placing third at the NCAA Championships. He was a three-time MAC steeplechase champion, won titles in the 1,500, 3,000, and 5,000 meters, and added 3 more MAC crowns as part of EMU's elite distance medley relay team. His dominance was recognized with MAC Most Valuable Performer honors in 1997 and 1999, and MAC Indoor Most Outstanding Performer in back-to-back years, 1996 and 1997. Decades later, Ben Reese still ranks in the top 10 all-time at EMU in the mile, 1,500 meter, 4x800, and distance medley relay. A distance legend, a championship machine, and now a Hall of Famer. Join us in celebrating Ben Reese as he is being inducted into the Eastern Michigan University E-Club Athletic Hall of Fame.
Ladies and gentlemen, Ben Reese.
Thank you. Hello, everyone. Right, my speech is going to be shit compared to everyone else's. I'd like to thank ChatGPT first. Yeah. I can enjoy the night after this speech is over. Right, and if you can't understand me, I'm sorry, from England. I've got an accent. Okay. Right, I'll start now. Good evening. I'm just going to read this off my phone. Okay, so, you know, fair play. Everyone else, the other three people that come before me, fantastic speeches. Mine's going to be shit. Good evening. Right, the older you get, the more emotional you get. And like, now I'll watch a film, and I've watched it 20 times, and now I'll be watching it with my kids, and I'll start crying. So if I get through this speech, fantastic. Okay. So, all right, okay. Good evening, everyone. First, thank you for this incredible honor. Being inducted into the Hall of Fame is something I never expected, and I'm truly humbled by it. My journey to Eastern Michigan I'm going to pull this off. Right. That's better. My journey to Eastern Michigan started in a slightly unconventional way. I was on a training trip to Kenya when my mum sent me with two books. One was The Godfather, the other was The Michigan Murders. The Michigan Murders is about a serial killer in Ypsilanti. ChatGPT, not me. I don't know how he knew. Not exactly the best tourism campaign. Ironically, me and my future wife ended up living next door to the murderer's former house. And many of our runs ended up going down Vreeland Road, which is like the dirt roads, where one of the bodies was found. Where am I? That book was actually pulled from shelves at one point because enrollment at Eastern went down. But hey, it didn't stop us, did it? When I got from Kenya, there was a few big brown envelopes waiting for me. College prospectuses. One of them was a place called Ypsilanti, which immediately rang a bell. Because I just read the Michigan Murders. Safe to say, it wasn't the most comforting association at first. Then I opened it and found a letter from Bob Parks, who I'm sure that most people know, but is like, was my coach at the time, you know, and obviously Sue Parks. Where's Sue Parks? Is she here? Is Sue Parks his dad? Okay, so, and written in what I can only describe as handwriting that looked like it had been done in a mid-sprint. I had to spend a little bit of time deciphering it, but it was when you get a letter handwritten like that, immediately you think, it's not a type letter, it's someone who gives a shit, you know what I mean? Okay. So okay, what's going on here? So I'm reading it, And that was closely followed by from some phone calls from Brad. Brad Fairchild. Where's Brad? Brad, stand up, Brad. Okay. So Brad was big on me coming to Eastern. And probably, there's a couple of people in here. Fabian. Where's Fabian? Fabian. Stand up, Fabian. And probably James as well. Where's James Chickway? Okay. So we were all like closely recruited, and Brad probably changed the three of our lives. And I don't say that in like in like a small proportion. He literally changed our lives. So thanks, Brad. Okay. Told you this was going to be shit. Oh, where am I? My phone's went back to the home page. Okay. I've only got 4 minutes. Sorry, Jessica. Anyway, okay, here we go. Something genuine that made me pay attention. Okay, here we go. That was followed by a few phone calls from Brad. And before I knew it, I was saying goodbye to my parents, getting on a plane, hoping for someone actually going to be there to meet me on the other side. Thankfully, Brad was. Met me at the airport in 4 feet of snow. And the first thing we did, went straight to the basketball game. This was when the basketball was in Bowen. Super. Bowen, it was like, anyone who did, who went to the game when Bowen, we had Earl Boykins, and it was like superb. You couldn't just get a ticket, you just couldn't get a ticket for that anyway, it was superb. I think they went to the, what do you call it, last 16? What do you call it? Sweet 16, I think they went to the Sweet 16. Sorry. Okay, hang on. Soon after, I settled into dorms, made lifelong friends, including a guy from Compton and another guy from Piscataway, New Jersey. Those early days were filled with laughter, culture shock, and so many moments that have stayed with me. Training with team, traveling to meets, it was all so much fun, and I soaked in every second of it. The whole Hall of Fame recognition was a complete surprise. What made it even more meaningful was when Sue told me that Bob, Sue's dad, had lobbied for me. Where the fuck am I? Bob had lobbied for me to get in, so that was amazing for me, like, because Bob Parks was like a father figure for me. I come over and he was like, looked after me, and we all just on the team. He was like, I coach now. I'm a track coach and I coach now, and I don't use any of Bob's workouts. But he was like, I would run through a brick wall for Bob. So, and that's what I take from Bob. It's like his people person. There's a football coach. I'm a Liverpool fan, and I hate Man United. But there was a Man United manager called Alex Ferguson, and he was like a really good manager, yeah. And he won loads of titles, and I hated him. But he was a superb manager, and loads of his players became coaches. And I put Bob on that level, because loads of his runners have become coaches, and I think that's as much as you can't put anyone as high praise as that. Like, So yeah, Bob was amazing for me. Like yeah. Anyway, but honestly, the real gift tonight is being here, to be in the room, surrounded by my family, my American family. So my wife's American, so I've got my American family here as well. So I don't come over as often as we should. So yeah, this is such a gift. I'm surrounded by my teammates. There's a table back there, like, boys, stand up. Come on. Come on. All the friends, teammates, amazing. That's what's truly special about tonight for me. It's not about all this. It could have been any of those lads on that table getting this award, but we're here, and we get to, like, it's like being at your own funeral, isn't it? You know what I mean? That sounds morbid, but like, yeah. Before it happened, so fair play. There's some of the lads there. I would never see them unless it was for this. So that's special for me. So yeah. Right. What did ChatGPT say next? But honestly, so let's celebrate the memories we made, the friendships we forged, and the lives we've lived. So, thank you. Hang on, I haven't thanked Jessica. Jessica, I've been in right pain on the emails. She emails me and I don't reply, like, you know. But Jessica, stand up, Jessica. Jessica, fair play. Sorry. And I haven't said well done to all the other nominees as well. So well done to all the and it's Bill. Where's Bill? There's Bill. I was a right pain to Bill, probably. So he's up next. Yeah, and like, that's easy now because I fucked it right up. So Bill's up next. My kids are there too. So, but I had to have a few beers just to get up here. So yeah, Bill. Sorry for putting soap in the ice bath, I know, and like making it foam, and like, yeah, I was probably a right pain. Remember, we had a bet about going up the R, Bill. You on your bike and me running. Yeah, so well done to Bill. Well done to everyone else. Sorry. But no, honestly, just thank you from the bottom of my heart. This is an amazing day for me, like, and I'm gonna crack up now. But no, thank you. Truly special, thanks.
Thank you.
Ben, you'll want to come back up, so you're going to need that when we actually hand you your Hall of Fame plaque. Congratulations, Ben. Well, behind every championship, every comeback, and every moment of greatness, there are people who keep our student athletes strong, physically and mentally. For Eastern Michigan, that person was often Bill Tuscany. Yeah. Let's take a look at his incredible journey and lasting impact on Eastern Michigan athletics.
Behind every great team is someone who keeps them healthy, grounded, and ready to compete. For more than 3 decades, That person at Eastern Michigan was Bill Tuscany. A two-time EMU graduate, Bill Tuscany earned his bachelor's degree in 1973 and returned to serve as a graduate assistant while completing his master's in 1976. But that was just the beginning of his impact. From 1986 until his retirement in 2018, Bill served as associate head athletic trainer, predominantly overseeing EMU's Olympic sports out of the iconic Bowen Fieldhouse. In that time, he worked with an incredible 105 MAC championship teams, helping keep Eagles competing at the highest level. Beyond the training room, Bill was a dedicated lecturer and preceptor in EMU's accredited athletic training program, shaping the next generation of sports medicine professionals. A certified member of the National Athletic Trainers Association and a member of the Michigan and Great Lakes Athletic Trainers Associations, he also served as a Board of Certification examiner for over 30 years. Before returning to Ypsilanti, Bill spent a decade at Lewis University, where he was head athletic trainer, associate professor, and chair of the physical education department, eventually earning a place in their Athletic Hall of Fame in 1993. From the sideline to the classroom, Bill Tuscany dedicated his career to the health, success, and growth of EMU student athletes. Today, we honor that lifetime of service. Join us in honoring Bill Tuscany as he's being inducted into the Eastern Michigan University E-Club Athletic Hall of Fame.
Ladies and gentlemen, Bill Tuscany.
As you can see, it hasn't changed me a bit. In all honesty, I'm humbled and honored to be included among so many people that I admire so much and that I've had the gift of watching as athletes. My history here is a little bit longer than some of the other people, but I'll try to keep it brief, okay? I arrived here in 1971 as a junior college transfer. I was a junior coming in, and I'd been a student, in those days it was called a student trainer, and that was a job. And through a connection I had, I was able to connect here with the head athletic trainer at the time, Ron Venus. Mostly what he was interested in is whether or not I could tape. The other stuff didn't matter. So he wanted to see me tape. So he wanted me to tape a guy. Now, he was a chain smoker in the training room. Things have changed a little since then. He had an ashtray at his taping station. He had burn holes in his shirt. And tried to present an intimidating presence, which he did for me. I was 20 years old and coming in as a stranger. And he said, I want you to tape this guy. Well, this guy gets on my table, and he is huge. He is intimidating. He looks me in the eye and he says, you new here? I said, yeah. Tape my feet. And if you cut me, I'm going to break both your arms. So fortunately, there was no intimidation there or anything. He actually turned out to be a very good friend of mine through life, and that's Dave Purefoy, of course, who's one of the greatest athletes ever at Eastern. But that was the start. Starting here, that was a very significant time for me. On September 9th, 1971, I met a Polish girl from Detroit at church, at Holy Trinity Chapel. 2 years later, she would become my wife, and we've been married for 52 years. She obviously is an Eastern grad. She's an educator in her own right, an elementary educator. She taught at Eastern some music courses, music methods for the elementary teacher here at Eastern for several years, while teaching elementary school in Ypsilanti. She's unable to be here tonight. She had a major foot surgery and she is immobilized. So she really wanted to be here. It's very difficult right now. But otherwise she would be here. Starting that journey, I didn't realize at the time that I would meet some people, not only my wife, obviously, lifetime personal effects, but there are a couple other people I was going to meet that would have a lifetime effect on me, and I didn't realize it at the time. I also didn't realize that starting here as a student meant that I would always be a student through my career, and that would be encouraged by others. I was assigned to Bowen Fieldhouse because my class schedule, 3 days a week. Well, I got there and I met this rather quiet fella who was a physical therapist who had been here since the year before. He had a little different demeanor, easygoing, quiet, very professional, and damn smart. Well, I didn't realize at the time he would become my friend and mentor for the rest of my life. And that's Gary Strickland, who is also a member of the Hall of Fame. I can't say enough things to thank Gary enough. Around that same time, Eastern got a new team physician. He's this gregarious, outgoing, tall guy that was just not like real formal or anything, just easy to talk to, loved the athletes, really wanted to be part of the program. That was Dr. Wally Rozier. And Doc Rozier was here for over 40 years as team physician. And I would say that he was instrumental in a lot of ways. He was probably the smartest person I ever met. I never sat in a room with him that I didn't learn something. That's very important when you're an athletic trainer to keep learning. He's also a member of the Hall of Fame, obviously, and some of the older guys here certainly knew him well. His outward demeanor and gregarious manner would never make you realize that he was a winner of the Bronze Star in Vietnam, having served 2 tours as a medical coordinator in a MASH unit, and retiring as lieutenant colonel. That didn't come through until you got to know him, and he'd tell you about it. But he was just easygoing, and he loved our athletes. He truly loved our athletes. Okay, so fast forward, I graduate in '73. I go out and sell shoes and stuff for a year, come back, and go to graduate school. Finish working here, finished graduate school in 1976. Now, that was a great time to be here from '74 to '76. We had 2 World Series appearances. I was so dumb, I took it for granted that we were just that good all the time. Getting to know Coach Ostrike, getting to know the other coaches here, watching these just fantastic coaches and incredible athletes. So many All-Americans and champions and guys that go on to be professionals. And the tradition in track. There's always an Olympian on the track. Every time you walk on that track, from 1960 forward, there was a future Olympian out there. How incredible is that? And I lost count. Somebody had to give me the count on the number of national champions. I know at least one's here tonight. Leela's here. And, but yeah, so many people. And Jordan Desolitz, and I look at these guys, and Ben, geez, Ben. I never got in an argument with Ben because I could never understand what he was saying. But watching him run, my big question was, how do they do that? Oh my gosh. And why do they do that? That's some tough stuff there. But I was very, very fortunate to be around so many of these kinds of people. Now, 1976 rolls around, I got a master's degree, I got everything you need, except a job, and some relatives breathing down my neck. I had to borrow some money from some Italians. I call them Mom and Dad. And so the pressure was on to kind of find a job. Well, in the end, 2 people came through for me. Coach Ostrike and Gary. Coach knew of a job opening at Lewis University, and baseball was their big sport there. The baseball coach there was also the athletic director, was a personal friend of Oak's. Oak made a call, I got an interview, I got hired. I was there for 10 years, learned a lot, got better at what I did. After 10 years, Gary was gracious enough to take me back. I came back here in 1986 and came in and again continued my journey to learn and to teach. And I am so grateful for that. I am so grateful for so many people I met here. At that same time, I met another mentor who's passed on since, and that was Del Pearson, Dr. Pearson, some of you knew, who brought a different dimension, more general medical, clinical medicine stuff. I learned a lot there from him. I also learned, again, from my fellow athletic trainers that were on staff here, a great group of people. Many of them kind of come and go, but always a learning experience. And finally, not finally, but again, the opportunity to watch some incredible coaching. People like, and getting to know them on a personal level. First of all, Coach Ostrike. Nobody could organize a practice like Coach Ostrike. Oh my gosh. In that Bowen Fieldhouse having baseball practice, that's what we had. And he had a system for everything, and he had, I don't know, about 140 different drills that they would do in order, and he clicked off these things, and there was no wasting time. Everybody had a job to do, setting up, taking down, real gift for organization. And of course, the other part there, of course, was Oak's incredible loyalty to Eastern Michigan. After he retired, continued seeing pick tickets at the door, whatever, helping any way he could. Just an incredible person. So getting to work with him for at least 1 year with baseball as his athletic trainer was fantastic. Then with Roger after that, and then with track, watching Bob Parks, watching the kids that would imitate Bob Parks' mannerisms was a lot of fun. Yeah, there's a couple guys out there scratching their heads. This was his shuffle feet and scratch the head. They would all do that. That was fun to watch. But again, learning about the sports in a different way. Mike Jones and Peter Lynn, learning about the science behind swimming. All these things help you understand the mechanism of injury, which hopefully made me a little better at what I did. And mostly and most importantly, the opportunity to work again with so many wonderful young people. They weren't all stars as athletes, but boy, they were great people. They were great students, many of them. And seeing them years later with their own families and their success, those are the greatest rewards I think you can get out of a career. Seeing some kid come in that sprains his ankle stepping off a curb. I don't know if he can walk and chew gum. His senior year, he broke the 4-minute mile in Bowen Fieldhouse. Paul McMullen became an Olympian. Seeing that kind of development, that's very rewarding to see people like that develop. So I was very lucky in many ways. Seeing Jimmy Bostock on baseball, who none of you probably know, turn a one-man triple play 2 days in a row in baseball. Never saw it before, and pretty sure I'll never see it again. I'm old. So those are things that I'm very thankful for. I'm certainly very, very thankful to the Hall of Fame for this incredible honor. It's been fantastic. I was surprised to get the call from Jessica, and I'm very grateful to Jessica for her help in this whole thing. And some of you saw me in my younger days there, where I had a little more facial hair. At one point, I had to cut a deal with Venus because he wanted people to get haircuts. So all the guys had to get haircuts. He got mad at us about something.
I was able to keep my beard if I kept my hair short. So why that was important, I have no idea. In conclusion, President Smith has referred to Eastern as a aspirational university. I think I'm living proof of that. I came here as a junior college transfer, really, and was able to go all the way through, complete a master's degree, and have a pretty good career, and a pretty successful and happy career. And for all that, I'm very grateful. And I thank all of you. Thank you.
All right, Scott and Andrew, if you want to come up and join me, it's officially time to induct the class of 2025. Where's Andrew at? He's coming? There he is. Okay. Well, from this point forward, when I say your name, it will always be followed by Hall of Famer. So when I call your name, come on up. It's time for you to take your rightful place among the legends of Eastern Michigan. Patrice, welcome to the Hall of Fame.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Congrats. Great job on that.
Nice.
Let's stand with you real quick. Here, stand next to him, and I'm going to take a picture
Oh,
with you
okay.
real quick.
Oh, gotcha.
Okay? And then we'll stay here.
Yeah.
There you go. John, welcome to the Hall of Fame.
Congrats.
Oh, he was making all them feel good.
There you go. Nikki, welcome to the Hall of Fame.
Yeah, be easier. We'll have to come on the left.
It do, right?
And then we'll have to get, eventually we'll get you up front too.
We'll shift up here.
Congratulations. Slide over just a little bit so we get out of the
A
microphone.
couple more minutes. You can kill it.
Okay.
Ben, welcome to the Hall of Fame.
He gets another speech.
Yeah. Keep the microphone. Yeah. Thank you. Congratulations. I like you. Thank you.
Bill, welcome to the Hall of Fame.
When we're done, we're going to go down below and stand in front of everybody. Okay. Nikki, come up just to go back down.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
All right, we're going to have them line up in the front.
To those of exemplary calling these awards for performances of excellence, honor, and skill, congratulations. You are now officially inducted into the E-Club Athletic Hall of Fame. Let's have a big round of applause for the class of 2025. On behalf of Eastern Michigan Athletics and the E-Club, I want to thank each of you for being here tonight to celebrate this truly special moment in EMU history. The class of 2025 has reminded us what it means to compete with heart lead with integrity, and leave a legacy that lasts far beyond the field, court, or track. Their Hall of Fame plaques will proudly hang on our wall for the next year, serving as a daily reminder of their incredible achievements before being given to each inductee next year before we welcome the class of 2026 into the Hall of Fame. We are so proud to now have these 5 remarkable individuals forever etched in Eastern Michigan's history. Thank you for joining us in celebrating their accomplishments, their stories, and their enduring impact on our university. This concludes our ceremony. Thank you again, and have a wonderful evening. Go Green. If you'd like to come up and take photos with the Hall of Famers, come on up.